Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Trivia. I'm Kumar Singh from Designed Analytics LLC, and we are going to discuss the answer to the question: is being human-like really critical for AI capabilities in terms of harnessing value? And the short answer is no. And let's try to understand my perspectives behind that answer. One of the key questions, right, that we need to ask is obviously, why do we need AI to be like humans, right? But before that, let's try to understand, why do we think AI is actually valuable, right? Traditional machine learning algorithms, which are considered a subset of the broader umbrella of AI, have been around for decades. So why are those algorithms not sufficient? If you think about some of the applications, right, there are two elements: new algorithms, obviously the deep learning based algorithms, neural network concept, and the hardware that allows that massive behind the scene math to become a reality. That is what differentiates this AI revolution from the previous ones that ended up getting into the winter phase, right? This time it's different because there is hardware that can support it, and the hardware capabilities will keep improving. Eventually, once we kind of take quantum computing to a mature level, the capabilities of AI will increase manyfold. That's where we can start thinking about super intelligence. But you have to remember, nothing that we can build will be like humans, because it will all be based on math, and that is not how humans think. The fact is, we do not even have a good clarity on how human brain actually works in its entirety, right? But the key question is, why are we so obsessed? Why are we so obsessed with AI being like humans? And in order to kind of bring down that obsession, it's important to communicate that AI being like human is not important at all to grab the value, right? I kind of quoted a statement from Microsoft AI CEO that actually we shouldn't think about AI as being like human, but we should actually think about AI as being different, like in terms of it can do things that humans cannot do. And when I read about that, or whenever I discuss actually this thing with anyone who's trying to understand my perspective, I always kind of go back to a real world example. I remember it very vividly because that was my first real world AI project. I used to specialize in operations research area, and I started dabbling in AI almost a decade ago, right? I think 2015-16, I started self-teaching myself machine learning, and then as deep learning evolved, kind of got into that. So I think it was around 2018 or 17, I don't remember. I was in external consulting when we actually went to solve a problem that we thought would be an optimization problem, where a consumer goods company warehouse operations has dock scheduling problem. Basically, they ran into scarcity of doors. We were trying to understand what's going on, and then trying to figure out if there was a way analytics can help solve that. Eventually we figured out that there were so many pieces of information coming in from so many different directions that it wasn't possible for the scheduler, humanly possible for a scheduler to actually incorporate all those pieces of information and plan the dock, trailer optimization, like scheduling the trailers at the outbound and inbound doors in the most effective fashion. It was impossible, right? So there was this human constraint, and that's when we came up with an AI solution. We thought of an AI solution that would take all this data, crunch it, and leveraging a solver as well. It was a part of it, but come up with basically a optimized schedule. So where was this advantage, right? What was the advantage of this algorithm? The advantage of this algorithm was it was not like humans. It was not constrained by things that we are constrained with: fatigue, right? Or getting overwhelmed, our mental capacity constraints, emotions, There are so many things that constrain us. They do not constrain AI. Right? So actually, in the real world, the power of AI comes from the fact that we do not want it to be like human. Right? And all that obsession again that AI is going to eliminate humanity and all is kind of very closely tied with our obsession of AI being human, and that kind of leads us to think that someday AI will start emotionally feeling, as they depict in movies, that oh my god, like you people are such a drag to this planet, humans need to be eliminated, so I'm going to do it. It's not going to happen unless we F up in designing, training, and all these different stages of building an algorithm, right? So basically, to summarize, no, we do not want AI to be like humans, because if we make them like humans, we end up giving them the same constraints that we have. If you create a laundry list of all the things we want AI to do, they are all tasks where we kind of, a single human may struggle, even a team of human may struggle, but AI has that capability beyond the constraints of human capabilities that it can address. Right? Now the other part is, does that mean AI can never be like humans? We don't want it to be like humans. Like why would we want it to like mimic emotions? Right? That kind of leads us to the path of people sharing their mental state, mental health and depression with AI, and we have seen that it doesn't pan out well, right? But the fact is, you can get AI beyond superhuman or close to humans in terms of tasks. The capabilities of artificial intelligence will never be like human. We will never be able to create AI which is exactly like a human being in every sense, right? The human brain in every sense. We will never get there, and I am ready to bet my career on it. But we can surpass that, because see, the point is, it's all about the capability of doing the math, massive math in seconds, supported by the data. So as we get into the quantum hardware phase, right, we can create super intelligence, right? And in the current phase with the traditional hardware, we can definitely get very close, sense the emotions in terms of mimicking many types of reasoning, as we are seeing with the reasoning models, right? We are getting kind of a good depth and width in the reasoning aspect. Obviously there are rough edges, we can get there. But if the definition of true AGI, artificial general intelligence, is that the software, the tool, the model will think exactly like humans, it will not, right? And so claiming that means that anybody can go out and prove that it will not be. So we are in a kind of a weird progress or journey where we get very close to a typical human, but we cannot achieve that, and then we skip and we get directly into super intelligence. We will still be away from emotions and other things, but the most important thing is that super intelligence will take the current capabilities like to a certain level that is kind of scary. I don't know how it will be handled by companies that eventually end up developing that. So to summarize, no, we do not want AI to have human capabilities because it's not useful at all. And no, the AI will never be able to think like human, plan like human, maybe still kind of not exactly, because there is this intuition aspect, as I mentioned in a post recently, and that's where human AI collaboration becomes really powerful, because the kind of intuition we develop, it's not always data driven, data based. So it's difficult for AI also to develop that kind of intuition, because anything that can not be captured in terms of math is and will always remain difficult for AI. Even if we change the approach for super intelligence, we definitely have to change the approach from the current LLM approach, but remember, it will still be math. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you found it useful. I will see you again on Thursday.